We need some music, man. We
I
need to
know.
vibe.
Ready to boost your video creations? Try Maxon Studio. Maxon Studio's got your back with a sleek dashboard that's like your own personal editing playground. We're talking dynamic capsules galore. Our capsules are designed to supercharge your content creation game inside After Effects. So say goodbye to staring at a blank screen wondering where to start. Maxon Studio hooks you up with pre-designed, customizable elements. The collection is always growing, from elegant motion graphics to seamless transitions, animated titles, and amazing effects. The best part is, you don't need to be a design wizard or spend hours tweaking every little detail, because user-friendly controls make it easy to tweak text, colors, and more to match your vibe. So, what are you waiting for? Start creating breathtaking videos today with Maxon Studio. Take it for a spin with our free 14-day trial. Level up your content now.
Hey, hello everybody. We're live. Hey, welcome to the second sessions of Create with Maxon, and thank you very much for joining us today, everybody. You guys are a legend. Michael, thank you so much. Jose, welcome. Sai and Sharon, welcome to Create with Maxon. And this is the second episode of the series, and we are joined by our good friend Alexandru and Chad. Hey guys, how you guys doing?
What's up,
Hello.
Alex? What's up, Alex?
How's it going? It's going good, huh?
Alex, it's really nice to have you here.
Yeah.
I
Thank
think
you for
like
having me.
yeah, man, it's awesome. Today, I think we have like a very special sessions because we managed to secure Alex. We managed to drag Alex to the show to talk a little bit about the stuff that we just like put out, that Maxon just put out last week, right, Chad?
Just a few days ago. Not even a week
Just
old
few
yet.
days ago, yeah. And by the way, if you're curious about the nitty gritty, and you want to know the tutorial inside out, we kind of like already set up with that. And Chat just like put out like amazing tutorial on the stuff that we're
Stop.
going to take. We're going to talk today, right? And yeah, today it's all about Maxon Studio, and we're ready to party today, right?
And
Um,
I'm about to crash the party because I wanted to start with something completely else. But
Yeah.
let's go.
Yeah, before we party today, let me just do like a little bit housekeeping. I promise not going to be like super extra long on the housekeeping. Let's just do a little bit housekeeping and let's go back to party mode. All right. Let me present my screen. Hang on. There you go. So, by the way, guys, if you're just like coming from, if you're just joining any Maxon sessions and you are new to the sessions, you can find out more of the upcoming events by going to maxon.net/events. And if you are curious about the new Maxon Studio, you know what? You can just simply type in maxon.studio on your browser, and you will be brought into this nice sections at maxon.net, and it's all about Maxon Studio. Let me just
Cool. I didn't know that.
hide this one. That's
all the
pretty
credit,
new, right?
all the credit goes to Kevin. He found that. He just like messaged me like before the release. He was like, "Hey, Maxon Studio domain is available." So we just like completed everything in like few hours. So Kevin, if you're watching this, thank you so much, man.
Yeah, Kevin, you're a legend. And by the way, this is the second session. So as I mentioned before, last week we talked a little bit about theory and about like just the basics of like creating motion graphics. We haven't finished with that one, and I promise that we will finish that at some point. I think some audience like reaching out to the email as well. Thank you so much for reaching out. We promise that we will continue that. Not gonna be today, I think, but going to be like next week. If you can like bear with us a little bit, because today we're gonna talk a little bit more about this new baby, Maxon Studio, right? But if you want to like rewind and watch the recording, you can go to YouTube and type in Maxon Training Team, and you will be good to go, right? All the show by Maxon is stored at Maxon Training Team YouTube channel. So head to YouTube, type in Maxon Training Team, and you'll find the video that you want to find. By the way, if you're also new to the Maxon Create with Maxon series, you can get merchandise. So if you want to, you can go to the link that we will post in the chat later on, and you can type in the code for today. That is easy motion graphics, and you will find that you can get one of these cool t-shirts free of charge. You just need to pay a small shipping cost, right? So that's all from my side. I promise I will how do you call it, copy and paste the link to the chat right after this. Right, so with that being said, Chad, Alex, stage is yours.
Woo. Hey, I think just really quick, we should point out, because it's obvious to you and me, Max, but it might not be obvious to all of the folks watching this, why it is that we're having Alex on for the Maxon Studio week. Like, what's
yes,
Alex and Maxon Studio?
Yes.
I think that people should know what this is.
Exactly.
And,
how rude of me.
No,
exactly.
Us at Maxon, we know the genius of Alex, because the rest of the world knows him as this like incredible motion graphics designer, which he is, but also he is an innovator of the highest order, a legend, some might say, I might say. And he actually is the creator of Maxon Studio. Like, it was all his idea coming from scratch. So all the stuff that we're going to go see about Maxon Studio, he came up with the concept, he developed it, he runs the team that makes it. So it's like a really special privilege to have Alex here, because he is a genius. And as you see the software, you see the great design choices that made in, like he has a great team with him, but he runs that team. And so being able to hear from the person that actually came up with the concept and runs the team that made it is great. That's
exactly. So if you
guys
have any questions, write to Alex. Feel free to leave them in the chat, and we will highlight it, and Alex can answer that like right away. And by the way, if you not comfortable to do that, you can also use the QR code right over there in your screen. So you can just like scan the QR code here. Yes. And then after that, you can submit your questions. Any questions, really, right? Okay. And Alex, yeah, you want to say something? I'm sorry, I cut you off.
Yeah, you guys like set up the scene perfectly for me to disappoint. So, I just want to mention there was quite the housekeeping, which just shows how much content there is actually out there for everybody to watch from you guys, from Maxon and so on. So, if anything, you guys are the real MVP putting all of this together. So, pretty cool to see it.
And you know what? Carl Jason has already questions about a Maxon Studio. Can you create your own capsules in Maxon Studio, Alex?
Can I create my own capsules?
You create.
Can I create? Can I read that question as can I create my own capsule? Well, I can definitely create my own capsules.
But what about the user?
What about Carl Jason?
What about Carl Jason? Yes.
So I have to go like back to this because Chad gave me so much so many compliments. I even forgot my name. So thank you very much, Chad. You're very kind as always. But what's important about Maxon Studio as a product is that is by artists for artists. We really have been collaborating with so many of you out there, like through like so many like ways to create this product. So the ability to create, we really want to provide kind of like the best user experience out there, for everybody to be able to, imagine how they could use such a product. So there's not much I can disclose. There's not much I can say about that. I don't want to promise anybody anything, but we're definitely working on Maxon Studio to make the best product possible, and things will come out when they take the shape where we know users are confident enough to use it, and they feel empowered enough to use it, and it has enough value to whatever they may want to do with this product. So that much I can reassure you.
In my opinion, it is a celebration of creativity, Alex.
Yeah, it's really a product made by you. Like we did nothing. Like again, Chad loves giving compliments, but it's really nothing but your ideas. We have tried to like put as much of everything we heard from every single artist, and kind of like the pain points and the problems, and kind of like what they're looking from a product like this, and that's why we made it. So
yeah, so the answer to the can you create your own capsules, not currently, is the answer.
The answer to I can
yes, Alex can create capsules. So another way, what you could do is you could find out Alex's personal information online, and then give him your work and have him create the capsules for you.
Yeah,
that's
reach out to Alex.
Hey, always reach out to me, regardless anything. Like you feel free to reach out to me. I'll give you guys my email so you can reach out to
and
me.
Arjun just wondering in the chat, how does this integrate and function with other Maxon products such as Cinema, now or in the near future?
Okay, so it looks like I don't even need to demo the product because everybody knows the product, right?
I hope everybody in the chat has already played around with this one. I mean, if you haven't, please open your Maxon app and do an update, and you'll see there's a really nice surprise for you there.
Yeah, for all people who have Red Giant subscription and Maxon One subscription, like this is not anything you need to buy. Like you would just have it already. You just have to update your Maxon app, and it will show up, and you can download it, and it's all free. Like all the capsules, all those like templates that you see in the thing, it's like that's all comes with it. So just for being a Red Giant or Maxon One subscriber, you have all of that stuff.
That's correct. And to go back to the question,
oh, I'm too fast. Sorry. Let me just put it back.
There's a lot of ideas, and there's a lot of crazy ideas we want to do and so on, but the more you let us know what you want to see from this product, the more we can test our assumptions. So the more questions like that you put to us, and the more you ask us to do it, the faster probably things come out. So yeah, crazy ideas. I love it.
So that means
give us more.
That means don't be shy. Scan the code. Submit your questions. Okay.
Definitely don't be shy.
There's another question from Vlad. I'm sorry. We start everything with questions. Vlad is asking, is it possible to work with Maxon, to use Maxon Studio within ACES workflow?
We have tried to develop every single capsule with color management turned off. Usually if you work in After Effects, you want to do that anyway, because you don't want noises or your textures to be color managed. So that's what we did. I'm not going to promise that every single capsule will work in ACES, but they should behave nicely if you do work in an ACES color space or anything like that.
Did we answer the other question about how does Studio integrate with Cinema 4D?
Yeah, that one.
We did? Okay.
So Tom was saying, so we can't create our own capsules. Not yet. Not quite. Not now, right?
Yeah. Not right now.
Yeah. Alrighty. So Alex, we promised the audience to talk about like the easy motion graphics workflow. I mean, we started the week, we started the month with some theory, and then now in this second sessions, we were like planning to discuss a little bit more about using templates and elevate your workflow. But Maxon Studio is out. Can you tell us a little bit about Maxon Studio, Alex?
I can tell you a lot about Maxon Studio, but I wanted I wanted to not like not completely throw out the entire thematic you guys have built in the first week, and then there's more to come in the third week and then the fourth week. Like I know you guys have something amazing for everybody prepared. So if you don't mind me, I want to get into the motion graphics kind of like topic a little bit, and I want to showcase a new product that was shipped in April by our very talented product manager Nate and his team, which is called Geo. So I just want to showcase a little bit about motion graphics and how Geo works. And I think for me personally, this is just for me personally. So like, don't quote me, don't none of that. But like for me personally, as a compositor, it's very important that you can cheat and that you can have fast results. So I just want to showcase how cool Geo it is outside of what the tool is meant for and so on. And go watch Chad's amazing. I think it's like a 2 parts, 3 parts tutorial. How many
No,
parts?
it's only one part. It's just one part.
Okay, I'm pretty sure I saw a second part from you, but maybe it was just on YouTube. But
that's the director's cut, the uncensored version.
I see. That's cool. But yeah, go watch Chad's amazing tutorial. He will explain you how the tool works, all the nitty gritty, all the awesome features that it has, and so on. I'm personally more about cheating today and kind of like having fast results. So I have prepared a couple of projects for this topic, and I have used Geo in, I would say, I don't know, pretty simple way and so on. I'm not going to go full in detail how everything was made, but it was pretty simple, and I'll just try to have like a short breakdown of how cool Geo can be for such task. Or if you have something like, hey, I really want something 3D super fast, maybe like a background or something, and you can use Geo to generate all of that basically. So I'm just going to dig deeper here in this project file, and I just have basically Geo applied here, and Geo allows me to get fast to results because it has like this awesome cloner feature, and I was able to generate like some fast, I don't know, 3D spheres and so on. And it's really powerful. Like it offers you the ability to like manage up to 5 materials, right? So you can like do pretty cool stuff when it comes to that. And it even works with Cinema 4D files. So you have access to Cinema 4D and Cinema 4D capsules. Then you can like import them into After Effects using Geo. So it's extremely powerful when it comes to like 3D solutions. Like you can do a lot of it.
Alex, can I interject and make a comment really quick?
Go ahead.
So one of the things that's really cool is, we have Cineware inside of After Effects. And one of the things I just learned, they just added this and didn't really make a big deal about it, but the entire Cinema 4D asset browser library with like all those that whole category of 3D objects that's in Cinema 4D, that's actually now inside Cinema 4D inside the Cineware plugin. So if you just make a blank, if you just go to File, in After Effects, you go to File, New Cinema 4D file, you could make a blank Cinema 4D project file, bring that into a composition, that will add the Cineware effect, and then from there, you could open up and see the entire asset browser in Cinema, in After Effects, and then you can use those 3D models inside of Geo. So it's almost like Cineware makes it so that you can take all of the Cinema 4D asset browser and bring it into After Effects and have these like 5 different categories of materials and like all that kind of stuff too. So just something to be aware of. It adds a lot to Geo, I think, having that
definitely. And it's yet another reminder how well our tools can work together, right?
Mm-hmm.
So great point there. And yeah, I basically just use the cloner feature here to generate some of those 3D spheres, and I play with some of the materials, kind of like what I wanted to have and so on. And if you're lazy and you're looking to cheat, you can generate fast textures by applying universe texturize or universe texturize motion, and you can combine it with geo, right? So use universe texturize, generate fast, I don't know, any kind of texture you look for, and play with the controls, and then you can have a geo texture. So if I like zoom in here, you can see that my little marbles here, they start having like textures and so on. So you can get pretty fast results by just combining already two Red Giant products. And I find Geo amazing for that. And just to prove how much of a cheater I am, I don't like keyframes. So all of that is sometimes too complicated and too messy and so on. Now, obviously, if you're doing, a lot of professional work, it is great to understand how it works, how After Effects graph animation works, and how you can use the editor and all the types of, animation styles and so on. But I like to, produce sometimes and kind of like just play around, that I just use expressions. And a way you can avoid using keyframes is by just, applying an expression like time. So for example, if I were to apply here time, multiply, let's say, by 5, now my spheres are animated in X rotation by themselves. So it gives me that motion without me having to keyframe any in and out, any kind of that. So um, sometimes I just like to do things that fast. And after this, you can play with Geo more with like the environment stuff and kind of like get the results you may want to. But for me, this was enough. I made my material, I made my texture with the universe, and I just created a camera just to give a little bit of Z depth, and that's it. That was it. Uh, After that, it's just playing more and more with some of the Red Giant effects and Geo. So I added a small gradient ramp for the background with a little bit of texture here using the checkboard plugin. So if I were to add a bit more here, you can see some kind of like a square texture for the background. I am personally a sucker for vivid colors. I'm obsessed with them. I like oversaturated stuff. I like stuff that has, a lot of like half toning or texture to stuff. So that's basically my style. So that's why I
That's
like
your
to play.
jam.
Yeah, I'm a fan of Patrick O'Keefe.
Yeah.
And the movies like Into the Spider-Verse or Across the Spider-Verse.
Oh yes, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Exactly. Like I love Arcane. I love,
Yeah.
how the colors pop, how much textures, things they feel like they have weight and so much expression. So that's how I identify my style as well. So but you feel free to like play with things however you may like. So I wanted to create some sort of a like displacement between them, and to do that was pretty easy because Geo has this cool feature where you can switch and already generate like depth stuff. Now this has a certain color now, uh, but it allows you to generate fast like depth, normals, and that kind of stuff. So I basically just duplicate this, and I was able to generate my displacement map for all of like these little marbles and so on. And I fed it to chromatic displacement. And from here again, it's just playing with stuff. Like if I add here more, you can see some of the stuff already start changing. And I also duplicated because I wanted to have control over the blue little marbles differently from the pink ones. So as you can see, like if I go in like the positive value or the negative value, you can start to see more and more of that displacement. So yeah, Geo is awesome. If you want to cheat fast 3D background for your motion graphics, you can do that.
Do it with Geo.
Exactly. And from here, I just apply a little bit of color correction, kind of like playing with some of my favorite plugins from Regine when it comes to that. I like Finisher because it gives me kind of like 5 sliders of getting a look fast. I like Mojo for this kind of setup. Optical glow for a little bit of glow. Like this is without it. It's a little bit of some of that glow coming in. And Colorista to manipulate some of the highlights. So yeah, this product is amazing.
Cool.
Can I add in another thing too?
Sure,
people are asking in the chat about like Element 3D, and yeah, I think that was part of the concept behind Geo. Is it's kind of like a more like simple version of Element 3D that doesn't require a separate interface. But then also, as we were designing it, we were like, oh wait, actually we could put this in there too. Oh wait, we could have really quick and easy like 3D shadow casting. Oh wait, we could have like really powerful refractions and illuminated maps and emissive textures and all these like kind of cool modern things we could add. And it's also set up in the same way that Redshift is. So with like metalness and roughness and like all that kind of stuff too. Using normal maps for displacement. There's a lot of like kind of like more current stuff that it can do, which is really powerful. And one of the things I wanted to point out was that it also accepts 7 different file formats. And I don't remember, like I did a tutorial for Geo and I remembered what it was then, but it's like 3ds, C4D, OBJ, GLTF. I mean, there's like a million, 7 different file formats, 3D file formats that Geo can accept and work with. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think this is part of my like daily job and so on. And I think it's good that you pointed out that it's a very easy to use tool. Balancing simplicity with power is probably the hardest thing you can do when you create such a product. And I think Nate and the team definitely deliver on that. For me, Geo feels like super easy to use, especially if you're a little bit familiar with After Effects. It doesn't do anything extra out of the ordinary. It keeps you very familiar with After Effects. So you can just jump and basically use 3D and like learn 3D in After Effects pretty easily. So yeah, I use the same concept to cheat the fast 3D background with Geo and create this typography type stuff. And literally they're the same concepts. I just scaled them basically on the vision that I had. So again, the background, same thing, same spheres, same concept. I have added this glass here, and there's a neat trick with compound blur. So you can use compound blur and kind of like fit it a texture, and then it gets blurred based on your whites and blacks and whatever your grays may be. And to generate that texture, like you can see here, like the glass has like this texturized feeling about it. And if I add more, probably you can see more of it too. Like, look, now you can see more of that texture, more of that grunge. And because I use universe texturized, that means I can just go inside here and say, hey, I don't want that. Maybe I just want something like crayons, And then when I go back, now my glass texture updated. So this gives me the freedom that instead of importing a new image or doing any of that, I just click on the menu and change the texture, and now my entire glass filling change. Like I really like how it looks here, for example. That looks pretty neat, pretty classy, pretty frosty, as Max likes to say. So yeah, same concept. Generate faster texture with universe, fit it to a blur, and I get that glassy feeling. And it's really like for example, like this edges is really just an outline, like nothing too complex, playing with shapes and so on. And to create the same distortion between the text, I used, again, chromatic displacement with same concept, fitting it to a depth map and generating liquid distortions. So there's another cool, neat product we have in Universe, which is called Chromatown. And I'm just going to solo this for a second. So this Chromatown product is definitely too complex. So for me personally, I actually envy everybody at Maxon that is a trainer, or like if you're a trainer in general or a teacher, I envy you. Teaching people is probably one of the hardest skills you can you can have, and you have all my respect when it comes to that. So I'm not a trainer, I'm not a teacher, I'm actually pretty bad at that. So please go check out Maxon.net, Chromatone, University, or all of our YouTubes to like check for tutorials and so on. If you want to like learn more in depth about this powerful chromatic aberration generator. But for my personal use case, I was able to like duplicate the same marbles and use Chromatown to kind of like drive the chromatic aberration, giving it like some sort of a direction and a spin and so on. And that allowed me to have, those marbles kind of like generating some sort of a chromatic tracer effect. So Chromatown is pretty cool, pretty neat for that. If you're looking to generate chromatic tracers for your motion graphics. And after that, I added some text, and I made sure that the marbles are on top of the text. And that's it. That's how I use Geo to generate this typography.
That's very nice. And by the way, Nate just pointed out that another three formats that you can add to Geo is GLB or GLB, FBX, and DAE. Thanks, Nate.
Sorry, Nate, I forgot.
Nice seeing you in the audience, man.
Also, Nate is the creator of Geo, so we have the fathers of both of these incredible apps like with us, which is incredible. We are among greatness.
You should definitely reach out to Nate when it comes to Geo. He's an amazing guy, and he's definitely very open to discussions. So feel free to reach out to Nate if you have more Geo questions.
Awesome. So now let's move on. Alex, is it like Studio you're showing us today?
Yes. So now we're getting into Studio. So
now we're talking.
I gave everybody an appetizer, and again, please go check out Geo. It's an amazing 3D tool in After Effects. And now let's talk a little bit about Maxon Studio. So,
and sorry to interrupt. Sorry. By the way, if you guys wondering where to find those tutorials about Geo and Maxon Studio, you can always go to University, and you will find the tutorials. I think there are like 2 tutorials for Geo chat and one for Maxon Studio. And if you still have any questions, don't feel shy. Just write us at training@maxon.net, and we can work something out. Okay.
I'll put the link to Cineversity in the chat. So sorry.
And in general, feel free to reach out. Like, we are eager to listen to your feedback,
absolutely,
ideas, anything you like us to do with our products or from our products. Let us know. So I made this little fun project a while ago. I think it was for IBC, and I got to update it since. And again, is regarding motion graphics and typography and how you can like create stuff with Red Giant. So again, I'm not going to go like into the nitty gritty. I'm just going to showcase a little bit how like achieve this effects. Is basically universe fractal background to like get that noise going on. And I use polar coordinates because it allowed me to get that round shape pretty quick. And then I just added like this mask so I can control the fade. There's a lot more tricks you can do here. You can use mirror if you want to mirror stuff. I just really wanted that fade, so that's why I used the mask here. And then I just like duplicated a bunch and I use universal unmold, which is great to remove some of the blacks. Like if I were to solo this real quick, just to show you, solo that, wrong button. It's great sometimes to have dual screen so you can see all your buttons, but I do not.
I think your solo's on your far left side, next to your eye icon.
Yep. Thank you very much. So if I were to solo this right now and to see some of my stuffs, like that's without unmold, that's with unmold, which allows me only to have my whites. And then I just added a fill to like add some color. So unmold is great for that. And then I just duplicated a bunch, create a bunch of like sizes and so on, and kind of like play with the colors and like everything. And I added some like outline text and some text here and animation. And then I use some expression to make sure that I drive some of the stuff together, a camera, a null, and of course universe finisher, because again, 5 sliders, it gives me a look, and then I'm done. So this may take you, pretty quick, or may take you some time to set up from scratch. And this was one of the reasons why we made Maxon Studio.
That's gonna take me years, Alex.
I don't think it'll take you that long, but if you're a first time, After Effects user, it might take you a little bit of time until you learn everything. So that was one of the reasons why we made Maxon Studio. And I closed it because, I want to use the shortcut to open the panel, which on Mac is Command Option Space. On Windows, that's Control Alt Space. And of course, if you go to the settings, you can input any shortcut you wish. So the panel can be called out by any shortcut you want. And there's some settings here that helps you personalize the product for your needs. So here's Maxon Studio. We try to have a very responsive design. So we try to respect your screen real estate. So if you're like me in this scenario where you just have one screen, you definitely want to be able to make things smaller so you don't always have to see everything. So the panel will react based on your needs. If you have other needs to make it even smaller, let us know. So that's for you. Yeah, it's full of capsules. Now, what are capsules? As everybody, probably that's everybody's favorite questions. For us, capsules are very similar to templates, but not identical. So we are not shipping After Effects project files or moggers or anything like that you used to from, let's say, the template market or the template vendor and so on. We have built this new template engine that allow us to basically take a project file, encapsulate it. See what I did there? So I'll also take a project file, encapsulate it, create a capsule file format, and then that's basically what we ship to you. And again, I mentioned this in the beginning of the presentation, but this is really by artists for artists. Like every single feature here, it's feedback that we have received from you and built with you. So we try to lean into that visual design and kind of like provide you as much visual indication about what the product is and what it does. So when you hover, you can see playback animation, how those capsules may look like. You can start applying and downloading directly from here or favoriting. We try to have like a minimal design but very visual driven, and you can actually click on those capsules. So that will pop up some sort of a details page. And again, if you have more screen real estate, it will adapt to that. And this is basically for you to like see a little bit some of the details. We have partnered with Candy Mustache to provide you the backlog of capsules. So every single capsule you see in here, except few, are made by Candy Mustache. And I think they did an amazing job. Like, I don't know how you guys feel about this, but I feel like they did an amazing job.
This is so exciting. Yeah. This is amazing.
So, of course, I can click, some of those backgrounds and click apply, and then it starts downloading, and it will apply me the background. From here, I can apply again, or like I can click on some of the stacks to search and filter for the same similar results and so on. But there's an edit button here, and once you press it, it switches to this page. We call it the edit page, and within here you can jump in and kind of like start changing stuff quickly. Some of those capsules are designed to drive you fast to results. Some of them may have more controls based on your needs or based off how we designed the capsule, because we anticipated you have certain needs. So if you see certain capsule with only a few parameters, but you wish to see more, let us know. And then if you see capsule that have too many parameters and too much customization for you, let us know, so we can make better decisions in the future. But this entire edit page runs dynamically with After Effects right now, and whatever you change, it drives changes to the com that has created. If I were, for example, to compare my messy project here with what Maxon Studio does, it also organizes the stuff for you, so you know exactly where everything goes. So it takes care of all of that for you, so you can focus as much as possible on creating. Our goal was to empower artists to focus in directing their art rather than creating from scratch, and we try to take care of dependencies and all the nitty-gritties, so you can just focus in here and create the art you want to create, so you don't have to create from scratch.
That's really nice, Alex. What I normally see, like when with a pre-com, when we are going into the pre-com, you have like this huge list, and sometimes you can get like lost, like pretty easy. And with Maxon Studio, it feels like, hey, here are just some controls, and you can drag the sliders, and then you got the result. So you can kind of like art direct it like really quick, and got like pretty fast with a new iterations.
That's true, and I'll show you some cool features here in a second about how we run dynamically, and get back to that point as well.
Yeah, let me know when you have some time later on to answer some questions if you would like to.
Let me just showcase this, and then we can start answering the questions. From the panel, of course, you can apply the stuff, or like view details again and start searching, or simply deleting. We run dynamically with After Effects, so you can also delete stuff from here, and then it will remove the capsule from here as well. But what Maxon Studio allow me to do is basically have this project file that I've worked on some time and have it accessible for all of you. So you can go out there, download Maxon Studio right now, and have access to this project file. In fact, let me just delete this. And if I scroll down, or actually just search for this,
no way,
you can see that it's right there.
No way.
When did you add that? That's supposed to have been like the last couple of days you added that. That's crazy.
So this is specifically for this show, and specifically for the team that I work with. Kind of like a thank you for all of you and all of the cool work you guys do, and this show, for setting it up and inviting me. So go down to Maxon Studio. You have right now access to this project file, and I try to do the best job of exposing the parameters that I think you may need. Those things live in the cloud, so if you want more parameters or less parameters or different setups, let me know, and I'll try to set up for you. But what's cool about this is that Maxon Studio let me set it up in a way where I keep everything, animation, everything, expressions, everything. But you can just come in here and type, I don't know, Chad and Max.
Partying.
Awesome. And other exclamation marks, and everything changes together. Like all the outlines here, are correctly changed. Everything changes together. So go try it out, Maxon Studio. We have a 14-day trial right now. So go download it. Download Red Giant. That is a requirement. And
go create something fun. Yeah.
go
But
crazy.
if you already have Red Giant, if you already have a Red Giant subscription or Maxon One subscription, then you don't have to do any trial. You have it for free. It's just like a gift that's like been added to you. You don't have to. But if you don't have any Red Giant stuff, then yeah, get a trial. But if you do have a Red Giant subscription or Maxon One, then just update your Maxon app and you will have all of this stuff for free.
That's correct. So again, because we really try to listen to all of you, we also try to provide the editing experience similar to After Effects, right? So for example, I have scale here, and After Effects can scale things in unison, or you can click the unlink button and then they can scale differently. So you have access to that directly here. You don't need to do this. Like, look how much it's in here. You don't need to do any of that. Forget about the scary thing.
That's scary, yes.
Just press this button, it will unlink your scales. So now if I do this, you can see that, I added too much now, but you can see things are getting scaled. You can go crazy, you can create your own stuff. And if you change your mind, just press the reset button. You don't need to go inside and try to think stuff by yourself and so on. You can add animation from here. So let's see if we can add some animation here. Let's add for scale there. Go a little bit more in the front. Let's add here 120, let's say. And things now should be animated. I'm running full resolution, no downsampling. So there you go. You don't need to dig deeper to find everything and start using animation and so on. You can come in here, and again, I design it this way, but you should have access to all the colors and change stuff, based on your liking. And maybe you think that I added too much highlights, so you want to turn off the highlights a little bit. And it even allowed me to set up a camera where you can actually have access to depth of field. So if you want to increase the blur, you can increase the blur like that. Now again, I added a little bit too much now, but you have access to the entire camera setup, so you can do that thing. And of course, I had to expose the finisher because I really like it. So if you don't like the look that I given it to it, you can do that. And again, if you want to dig deeper, feel free to dig deeper. We offer you the possibility to do that. And that's where I wanted to go back to your point, Max, where you mentioned that sometimes it can be a real pain, to download some of those templates, and you load it and you're ready to go, and then you'll start messing things, and maybe you don't like a layer and you deleted that layer, and now the template doesn't work anymore, and you're confused why you're getting JavaScript errors all over your After Effects. So
I haven't seen any error message so far.
So because we run dynamically with After Effects, the best way to do that, to exemplify that, is basically let's just delete this text. We say we don't want any Chad and Max anymore, right? Maxon Studio will let you know that something went wrong. You're missing something there, right? Let's delete something else. I don't know. Let's delete the background. Okay, so we don't have a background now anymore, right? And again, the controls basically are gone, so you don't have to interact with them because they're not there anymore. But we'll let you know, hey, something is missing from here, right? At this point, your template or project file has been broken, and you start seeing errors and so on. But because we run dynamically with After Effects, this engine allows us to do stuff like command undo. And now your controls are back. And not only that your controls are back, your controls are still fully usable. So that is for me personally, the magic touch when it comes to, Maxon Studio. If I undo enough and I bring back the text enough, you can see if I change this, it's still fully functional. So that's basically the magic for me personally when it comes to Maxon Studio and Maxon capsules in general. It allows you to dig deeper. It allows you to mess with the stuffs. Every single capsule from here, if I were to reset my filters, every single capsule here is for you to play with it, customize it, make it yours, change stuff, delete stuff, remove stuff. This is for you to play around and make it yours. Basically, we really tried our best to allow everybody to download any capsule and customizing based on their needs.
Roland has a great question. I know there's a ton of questions. Everyone's been like keeping it so real with all of the amazing comments and questions in the chat, which is incredible. But Roland just asked something that I think that a lot of people had, and it's a question that I had as we were in development, because like, we've already had After Effects templates that have existed, and also, we have Mogerts and stuff like that. So what's the big deal about Maxon Studio? And I think that there's a lot. I think you should go watch the tutorial, because I spent a lot of time going into detail about that. But first of all, templates can't be browsed. You can't just have a nice UI where you're just checking out animated previews while they're in the cloud and seeing what's in 250 plus templates like there are in Maxon Studio. So that's a big difference. Also, Mogerts can be created in After Effects, and they can be used like this in Premiere, but they don't benefit you when you're actually in After Effects. You can't use Mogerts inside of After Effects. They're meant to be transported to Premiere and not for your work in After Effects. Another one that's really huge that I don't know if we talked about very much, because I was answering a lot of questions in the chat, but when you apply a capsule from Maxon Studio, it intelligently looks at the settings of the composition that you're applying it to. And without you having to do anything, as long as the ratio is 16:9, it's going to completely change all of the settings of its keyframes and everything, all the dimensions of everything to match whatever your composition is. So if you had a composition that was 720p at 60 frames per second, or 4K at 24 frames per second, when you apply that Maxon Studio capsule, it's going to look at what it's applying to and completely change all of its settings in order to match what that is. And templates cannot do that, and neither can Mogerts. Nothing out there can do that. So there are a lot of little perks like that that are absolutely incredible. Another thing too is that most of the time when you're making templates, they're After Effects projects, they are messy things. So the technology that we have here is I think Alex mentioned this as well, but the engine that we've created in the background, we're not showing all it can do yet in this first version, but we created an entirely new engine in the background to process these templates, to work with these templates. It's smaller file sizes, it processes faster, it breaks. It's much more difficult to get it to fall apart and break like it is with regular templates and Mogerts. So anyways, yeah, there's a lot of differences that might not seem so on the surface, but there's a lot of really powerful stuff happening in the background.
Yeah, even the thing that I showcased 5 minutes ago, where I can go inside here and start deleting stuff and nothing breaks, and we take care of that dependency about that user experience and making it easy for you to bring back those stuffs. That's just command and that's just command Z undo, and have things still work. That's something that not a lot of options there can do currently. So again, this is by artists for artists. We really try to listen to all the pain points and all the problems you had with the current templates and so on, and we really try to elevate that and create capsules. And there's a lot more to come in the future, and we're definitely open to feedback of how to improve the product. But this is basically everything we have heard when it comes to pain points and what you like your templates to behave like.
Yeah. While we are still in the panel, Sean is asking: once you drop a capsule in the timeline, is there an indicator that it is an editable capsule?
Yeah. So if I go back here to the Discover page, of course you have ways to filter things. So we have created this categories for you to find things faster. But I'm just going to showcase it here. As example, this was it's in my project file right now, so it gets this little edit button here the others don't have. If I were to apply, let's say, I don't know, this one, you can see again that after it gets applied, it gets that little edit button. So if you press on that, you can start editing. And this is another nice thing that we do. Basically, if I were to hide this layer, I can simply just click on this and now I'm editing this. I don't need to like swap between compositions or lose track what I was and so on. I just have to like click and start already like, changing stuff and all that kind of things. So
that
those are
seems
the
like a
things
small
like,
thing. That seems like a small thing, a small feature. But like as I was preparing the tutorials for Studio, like it was so amazing to have every single capsule that I used in my entire project listed like right there. So that way, like as I'm developing like comp after comp, 12, 15, 20 compositions where I'm going to show all these different examples, befores and afters and stuff like that, every single capsule that I used was in that edit page inside of Studio. So at any point I could just click on the capsule. And if I decided, oh, wait, I should have made this capsule, or all these different versions, all these different capsules have the same setting, I could go back and alter them from right there in Studio without having to go into After Effects and dig into the compositions and know which comp had my capsule or whatever. Like without doing anything, you just like jump and edit different capsules of different comps right from Studio. It's really cool.
Exactly. So again, those are things that we try to listen to you and provide, user experience stuff where you can focus. So instead of you like, going to like project and like, do all of the reveal in my comp, or like start like looking for stuff and so on, or like searching, you just come in here and click on stuff and switch. That's it. Done. So yeah, another way you can keep track if a thing is edited or not is by going to the details page. So if I press apply, that goes into the edit button. In fact, if I apply again and again, let's apply a bunch of times, we keep track of every instance. So you can switch from here to that instance. So let's say I want to switch to the first instance and then click edit. Now I'm changing that first instance. Let me make this pink just so we can see it. So if I hide this, that was the first instance I applied. Now things are pink. So it's really that easy to edit these things. And I really wanted to showcase some other stuff here if we have time.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Go
on. We have provided transitions. And again, there's more to come in the future. But what I like about those transitions is that we try to provide you a way to actually have control over them. So if I were to apply this transition, now nothing, shows up and so on. But actually, let me import some. Let me import some footage here. Let's grab these two things like that. You have like this little check mark here telling you where the transition is. And I think for people that use Universe, we provide transitions with Universe as well. But they usually come in the form of a plugin. So you have to deal with transition from A to B type stuff and kind of like link effects and so on. And with these transition capsules, I don't know if I mentioned this, but we pretty much use the entire Red Giant power in here. Like any Red Giant plugin we use to make these capsules, we basically use them at the core to help us, design those capsules. So you're not using just templates; you're actually using templates that uses a lot of Red Giant power. And for those transitions, we use a lot of Universe to like create them, but improve the user experience. So now you can just apply the transition. It's just a layer. And here are like my two footages. You get a little check mark to know where the transition happens. But if I go to Maxon Studio, I still have customizations. So you can customize this transition however you may want. Maybe you want less distortion. Maybe you don't want that much, motion blur. Maybe you want a different rotation. Maybe you want to animate everything here. So now you have control of your transition in a much more simplified way. And we also did that with effects. So we have tried to like combine some of our products here and creating like some cool effects. Like in this one here, we have combined particular with bokeh from Universe, and there's a lot more to come in the future. But at the core, we actually use every single Red Giant plugin, and we have access to that kind of power and flexibility to create interesting capsules.
Very nice. One more question, Alex. When, for example, I'm working in Premiere Pro and there's an effects in capsules, when there's a capsules that are really like in Maxon Studio, can I somehow still like use that in Premiere Pro? And how can I do that?
Yeah, let me just showcase you real quick. So let's apply a capsule. Let's do something fun. I don't know. What should we do? Let's do this logo reveal.
Yeah.
So let's say you have like this logo reveal, and you don't want to like mingle with After Effects. Let me just save this real quick. You're gonna have to save the project file somewhere, wherever you will to have it. I'll put it on desktop. I'll give it a name. Now I'll go in Premiere Pro, and I'll just click the import button here, and I'm gonna bring in my After Effects project file. I'm gonna select the comp. For me, it's comp 1, and then I'm just gonna drag it here. So now I have access to that capsule in Premiere Pro. And the cool part here is that instead of dealing in essential graphics or some other stuff, I can just quickly alt-tab here, change this, let's say like this, and I don't know, maybe change some of the colors. And all I have to do is save. And when I switch back to Premiere Pro, things are updated.
That's nice.
So
that's very nice. Yeah.
You can use Maxon Studio to basically have an easy way of creating this motion graphics and effects, or get some sort of a fast typography, or maybe you just want to lower thirds, and you can use Studio that way. So you can like apply that to your project. You come in here, you change stuff, and you just have to save. And then when you switch back to Premiere Pro to work with your video, it's right there. That's it.
Nice. Bonnie asked a good question too. I don't know if you guys got to this already, but just two great questions actually. What version of After Effects is Maxon Studio compatible with? And also any tech specs as far as like requirements for Maxon Studio? Those are both really good questions.
So I don't know the requirements on top of my head, and I'm sorry for that, but you can check on maxon.net for like the exact spec requirements, CPU and GPU and all that kind of stuff. But I know Maxon Studio works with After Effects 2024.0 and upwards, and it also works with Red Giant 2024.2 and above. Also, make sure you have the latest Maxon app installed, because you're missing on a lot of cool features.
Yeah. So I think the page to requirements, you can simply go to maxon.net/requirements, and you'll be able to see all the requirements that you need to, right? Hey, with one eye on the clock, I think we are passing an hour mark already. Do you still have something to show, Alex? Otherwise, we can wrap it up.
Just to show the flexibility here.
Awesome.
Let's say I work in Premiere Pro. I have a cool dancing lady here as a video, and now currently my After Effects is in sync with Premiere Pro. I can just use Maxon Studio to generate the stuff for me, and kind of like go to edit and say I don't want any background. So now when I search here, I got text on a dancing lady with no background. So motion graphics, very easy. So yeah. Does anybody have any other questions or anything else?
That's good, man. Now finally I can say I am some kind of motion graphic artist myself.
We actually need to print T-shirts like that. William, yeah, we gotta do that. I mean, I'm not sure if it's legal, but I'll talk to the legal team. I'll try to talk to the legal team. But actually, if you're watching this tomorrow in the office, but we should like print some like T-shirts with
Yeah,
William on the
finally.
wall, and put the entire thing.
I am
And then
some
give it
kind of
to
like motion graphic artist myself.
exactly, and then give it to everybody who's watching.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. Well, yeah. I think let's wrap it up. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us today. And thank you, Alex, for showing this. And thank you so much for making this product a reality. I mean, it takes a lot of like a fear, like for people who is like trying to enter into After Effects, trying to learn After Effects. And with Maxon Studio, it eases up the process. And even like you can also like use it as a learning tool as well, because I think the scene is very carefully set up, and it's like perfectly set up that you can like break down things and try to like reverse engineer it. And it was like, wow, it's like the gift that keeps on giving. So kudos to you and your team. It's an amazing achievement, man.
Yeah,
I mean, if you give me the bandwidth here, because I definitely want to thank my team for making this possible. I know everybody likes to like bring my name out there and like put me on the spot and so on, but it's really like, I don't know, I would say like it's 99% is the team's work and you guys working with us and giving us ideas and feedback of how to create such a product. And I also want to thank my my supervisor for like guiding me and helping me make this thing. And Rick, if you're watching this, thank you very much for all the help.
Yeah,
awesome.
The amazing Rick. Thanks, Rick. And with that, I just want to point you out again to the recording of this session. So if you want to watch the recording of this sessions, you can go to YouTube and type in Maxon Training Team, and you'll be able to see and watch the recording from this one and the last one and much like older one. And so you can like literally binge watch the whole training series if you want to. And by the way, if you want to, you can also subscribe to Maxon Training Team, so anytime we have something new, you will get notified, right? And don't forget to get your merchandise as well. Don't forget to get your merchandise. The code and the link is somewhere in the chat, so if you scroll up, it will be there. And if you're curious about Maxon Studio and if you want to learn more, please, I cannot recommend you more to go to Cineversity and type in Maxon, getting started with Maxon Studio, and you will be set up with a very nice tutorial from chat. He went through like the long, like the nitty-gritty of like Maxon Studio, so you can really know what's the difference between a template and Maxon Studio capsules and so on and so forth. And thank you so much, chat, for putting your heart into making this tutorial. Thank you so much.
Thanks, man. Thanks. That was cool.
The legend, chat, the legend.
Oh, stop.
Hey, this was fun. If you guys have any other plans in the future, and if my schedule allows me, let me know. This was definitely fun.
Yeah, it's great having you. Thanks so much for being here.
Absolutely. And thank you so much for you guys in the audience. Thank you so much for tuning in. This was amazing. And if we haven't answered your questions, we're really sorry. We didn't do it in purpose. But always, if you want to ask something, submit your questions by scanning this QR code, and we'll get back into that. And as well, if you have questions to Alex about Maxon Studio, you can also scan the QR code and ask Alex, right? And with that being said, thank you so much again, Alex, for your time. Chat, we'll see each other next week, right?
Yes, we will.
Gonna talk a little bit more about this, right? Thank you so much, and I wish you a great start of the day if you are in the United States in the Pacific time. Have a great Monday. And if you guys just in other time zone, maybe in Europe, have a nice happy hour. Take care and see you.
Thank you guys for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
See y'all.